Let's start with some national news first, where 33 years after the world's deadliest industrial disaster, survivors of the toxic cyanide gas leak from a pesticide factory in India's central Bhopal city and the victims' families are still awaiting justice and government help. Now, in the early hours of December 3 in 1984, as much as 40 tons of methyl isocyanate gas had accidentally leaked from a pesticide factory that's owned by the US multinational Union Carbide Corporation and was carried by the wind into the surrounding slums in Bhopal. Thousands of people were killed overnight and many were left terminally ill and maimed. India's National Investigation Agency has arrested a youth leader from eastern Bihar state for his alleged links with the Lashkar-e-Taiba. 23-year-old Dhannu Raja hails from Bihar's capital Patna and is suspected of having links with some Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists. He was arrested from Patna on Friday and has been brought to Delhi and will be produced before the NIA Special Court on the 5th of December. London Mayor Sadiq Khan will be in Mumbai today to boost trade ties with India ahead of Brexit. In India, he'll be attending a series of meetings with senior politicians, business leaders and some of the other Bollywood personalities there. The hardline organisation Karni Sena has reiterated its demand for a blanket ban on Bollywood's controversial period drama Padmavati. And during the protest, Karni Sena leaders have said that the group will not be satisfied with addition or deletion of scenes in the film. Now, the film was supposed to release on the 1st of December but was delayed indefinitely by its producers in view of the fierce protests. Weather officials have predicted a fresh round of heavy rains for parts of southern Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh states. The low-pressure area on the south of Andaman Seas is expected to endure for the next 36 hours and then move towards North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra coast during the next 3 to 4 days. The prediction of heavy rains comes not long after cyclone OCKHI had battered Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And after battering the states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, cyclone OCKHI has barreled into the Lakshadweep islands. Several homes have been damaged, communication lines have been disrupted as the rains, accompanied by strong winds, have lashed across the Lakshadweep islands, but no deaths have been reported so far in Lakshadweep. The kin of the fishermen who went missing in the sea and a raging cyclonic storm have been waiting anxiously for their return in Kerala. Now, the search and rescue operations are underway to find these fishermen. 18 people have been killed in the coastal states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu as the depression over the Bay of Bengal has turned into a cyclonic storm OCKHI. The man is on a countrywide tour for 3 years to raise awareness of gender-based discrimination and violence. Travelling through the length and breadth of the country as part of his ride for gender freedom, Rakesh Singh uses his public address system to tell people about the ill of gender discrimination. A 3-day international tattoo festival, Heart Work Tattoo Festival, has kicked off and hundreds are thronging to the event to either get inked or to just watch the artists create art on bodies. Now, over 100 tattoo artists from across the world are participating in the event, and the festival aims at promoting permanent body art and fighting taboos that are associated with it. Well, to some international news now, and US President Donald Trump has defended his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, saying his actions during presidential transition were lawful and there was nothing to hide. On Saturday, Trump tweeted that he fired Flynn as he had lied to the Vice President and to the FBI. He also said, and I quote, "It is a shame because his actions during the transition period were completely lawful. There was nothing to hide about them," unquote. North Korea's foreign ministry has said that US President Donald Trump and his administration are begging for a nuclear war. The comments came ahead of a joint US-South Korean military drill that is scheduled to begin on Monday. As many as 12,000 US military personnel and about 230 planes are expected to participate in the drill that is known as Vigilant Ace. A North Korean foreign ministry spokesperson has said that Trump is staging an extremely dangerous nuclear gamble on the Korean peninsula. The Honduran capital is gradually returning to normalcy a day after the state of emergency was declared following protests over escalating political crisis that is fueled by reports of electoral fraud. The President Juan Orlando Hernandez has been accused of meddling in the vote count after the November 26 elections in an attempt to cling on to power. The mistrust has mounted amid strange delays in the vote count and the sudden reversal of opposition candidate Salvador Nasrallah's early lead. Former Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh has said that he was ready for a new page in relations with the Saudi-led coalition. Now, if they stop attacking the country, the call came as the supporters have battled the Houthi fighters for a fourth day in the capital, Sana'a. The sounds of explosion and gunfire echoed in Yemen's capital Sana'a as heavy fighting continued as the rebel rivals failed to arrive at a peaceful solution with the Houthi fighters. The dispute began earlier this week after Saleh's supporters did not let the Houthis to enter the Saleh Mosque to secure a religious ceremony to commemorate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad. The sources in both the forces have said that about 40 to 60 people had been killed in fighting in several major streets of Sana'a. The tens of thousands of Israelis demonstrated in Tel Aviv against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu-led government, which is facing graft charges. The demonstration was by far the largest of the weekly anti-corruption protests that have been sparked by corruption allegations against Netanyahu. Now, the Prime Minister has denied any wrongdoing in the case. Thousands attended a concert in Barcelona demanding the freedom of 8 pro-independence Catalan politicians and 2 activists who have been charged with sedition. The revenue made from the tickets sold will be kept in a so-called solidarity fund to pay the possible bails of the politicians under arrest. The former Brazilian Senator Marina Silva will be running for the presidential elections next year. The former environmental minister has said that she will be seeking her party's nomination to run for the presidency next year. The 59-year-old politician has run in the previous 2 presidential elections but never made it to a second-round vote. Germany's far-right party Alternative for Germany, or the AfD, has appointed its new leader. Alexander Gollin's selection is seen as a sign of a possible toughening of tone before the region votes next year. As the AfD members deliberated, clashes in fact broke out between the police and the protesters demonstrating against the Alternative for Germany. Large number of anti-AfD activists gathered outside the AfD Congress in Hanover, and the anti-AfD protesters marched outside carrying placards reading "Hanover against the Nazis" and "Stand up to racism." French President Emmanuel Macron has welcomed the Kurdish Prime Minister Necerivan Barzani to the Elysee Palace on Saturday. Barzani is now the main authority figure and the executive of the Kurdish Autonomous Region after the Kurdish referendum debacle. After his meeting with the Kurdistan Regional Government, Prime Minister Necerivan Barzani, French President Emmanuel Macron have called on Iraq to dismantle all militias, including the government-sanctioned forces. Now, Macron has also called for dialogue in Iraq between the central government in Baghdad and the semi-autonomous Kurdish government within the framework of the Iraqi constitution. Warplanes targeted Arbil and Harasta in the rebel-held eastern Ghouta in Syria. These 7 people were killed in the airstrikes, and the strikes are believed to be carried out by either the Syrian government of Bashar al-Assad or its Russian allies. The heavy rains have caused severe flooding in the Australian state of Victoria. Hundreds of people have been forced to flee from their homes, and Victorians being told to brace for more rain overnight, particularly in the northeast. Now, airlines have cancelled more flights departing to Bali, citing forecasts of deteriorating flying conditions due to a risk of volcanic ash from the erupting Mount Agung volcano. The Bali airport spokesperson has said that the airport was still operating normally, but airlines such as Jetstar and Virgin Australia have opted to cancel some flights. The sudden halt has frustrated many passengers. The Bollywood actress Sunny Leone beats Priyanka Chopra to become the most searched female celebrity in the year 2017 as revealed by Yahoo India. Sunny Leone was also the most searched celebrity last year as well.